This conference will now be recorded.
All right, everybody. Now we have to be careful what we say. Good morning, everybody. I'm Wayne Mitchell, the President and CEO of the Nacogdoches County Chamber of Commerce. I want to welcome you folks to our bi-weekly Nacogdoches Chamber Stakeholder Conference call. I want to remind you that the media has been invited to participate, and we welcome all of our friends from the media. It's great to have you with us here today. In addition to that, I'd ask respectfully if everybody can turn their phones off so we don't have any interruptions on that, and your mics off. And then when we get ready for Q&A, we invite you to unmute your mic and we'll go from there. And last, I want to acknowledge our friends from Burke, are our sponsors of this program, and we're certainly delighted to have them help us put these calls together. It's a really a great organization, and we're thrilled to have them as sponsors of our weekly call. We're going to launch right into the agenda here today, and I'm pleased to introduce a new friend of mine, and his name is Joseph Ceasar. Joseph has a really impressive resume. He went to the United States Military Academy at West Point, got a bachelor's degree there, went on from there and he joined the military, and we thank you, Joseph, for your service. He was an officer with the Patriot Missile Complex in Bliss, Texas. And he also has been very active in the community locally here. He is the founder and executive director of the Legacy Institute, which provides a whole variety. You haven't visited their website, it's really impressive. And I invite all of you folks to do that, to learn more about them. I took the time to do it, and much better equipped to tell you about the Legacy Institute and, more importantly, the apprentice opportunities is my new friend, Joseph Ceasar. Good morning, Joseph, and welcome aboard.
Good morning, and thank you so much for the invitation to be here. And thank you all for joining us. I will share just a few bits of information about our organization and the apprenticeship program that we have. So first of all, our organization has been around since 2014. It was established in Houston, Texas, and then we got to Lufkin, Texas as soon as we can, or as soon as we could. So that happened in 2015. We initially started as simply a financial literacy organization where we taught people how to budget, save, invest, and give. But since then, we've expanded because obviously, given the circumstances in Deep East Texas, the salaries and the wages are much different than what you find in a big city like Houston. So many of our clients were in need of workforce development type programs. So we launched at that point in time 2 of them. One of them was LifeTech, which still is around today, and you're gonna hear more about that at length. Then we also started the Juicy Spot, which was a vegan restaurant and restaurant management training program. And with COVID-19, it was an extremely difficult environment, so we hit pause on Juicy Spot for now, and we've turned our attention to a community garden located in North Lufkin called the Lufkin Urban Garden and Market. So we're still providing healthy food choices, it's just in a different way. So let's talk about LifeTech. So LifeTech has been around since about 2019. LifeTech originally was designed to be a training program for those people who wanted to start careers in IT. And we were receiving donated or low-cost machines and refurbishing them. And our goal was to help our students get the CompTIA A+ certification. At that point in time, there was not very much funding for the program. But over the next few years, as that program gained some popularity, we were afforded an opportunity to partner with the Workforce Development Board in applying for an apprenticeship grant. So before that grant, or before we were approached, we had already spoke to the Department of Labor, and we became a registered apprenticeship program as determined by the U.S. Department of Labor. That was before our partnership with the board. Once Mr. Duran and Ms. Stubblefield found out who we were and what we were capable of, we partnered on a grant, and we were approved for a grant upward to $185,000 to perform and essentially expand the presence of apprenticeship programs in our region. So our ultimate goal is to touch most of the 12 county region and within the DETCOG area of influence. But this grant allows us to spend approximately $1,500 per trainee toward their training. And there's an additional $2,000 that we can use to offset the cost of hiring them as an apprentice. So if you're not familiar with apprenticeship programs, it's essentially on-the-job training. So while they're working, they're also afforded an opportunity to get industry recognized certifications that are going to be useful for them pursuing the career in whatever field they are looking to get into. So since we started this grant in November of 2021, we have enrolled 13 apprentices, and of those 13 apprentices, 5 of them have graduated. And I'm very proud to say that all of them that have graduated currently have full-time employment. Some of them are with us, and a couple of them are not with us. So I give you an example. Kayla Newsma, she was referred to us by the Mosaic Center. When we met Kayla, she had no money, she had no plan, and she had no income. And she enrolled with our organization on a different department, our Financial Opportunities Center, where she was assigned a financial coach. So that financial coach and her employment coach referred her into our apprenticeship program. We saw that she had a high aptitude. Mosaic Center informed us of that, and she was a perfect fit for our IT program. At that point in time, she had $42 to her name. So once she entered the program this past March, because of her aptitude, she very quickly graduated in April. And she was immediately hired by Elite Transportation here in Lufkin. During her time with us, she earned 2 web design certifications from an organization called Duda, who is very popular for a web creation engine. She also earned a globally recognized ITF or IT fundamental certification from CompTIA. And despite the fact that she's employed by Lee Trans, she is still pursuing, based on an agreement she had with her employer, she is still pursuing her Security Plus certification, which is for her to become a cybersecurity professional. She is earning well above the livable wage, which for our community is about $12.50 an hour. And now she has over $1,000 in emergency savings, and she's able to see her son, which is very important. Before, she didn't have transportation. Now she has a car that she owns, and she is also a business owner. So she's working for Lee Trans, but she's got her own company called Tech Girl, where she does some IT work, some freelance IT work on the side. So that's just one success story. And I'll get into another story that will reflect the way we can partner with other employers. So this grant permits us to train 50 people. So right now we have 37 more slots. We've got 5 pending applicants, and we still have a few more that we still have to graduate. So we have the capacity to train 15 people at a time. But as far as us hiring them internally, we can only handle about 3 to 5 at a time. So that would allow us to partner with other employers. So if you're an employer and you need to shore up your IT department, or if you need to establish an IT department, you can actually hire one of our apprentices, and then we can subsidize their salary up to $2,000 or 50% of what you will pay them for about 2 months. So that is a phenomenal opportunity and program. We've got one employer, and I'll share this story. This is our second case study that I would like for you all to see or to hear about. We've got a gentleman, his name is Joseph, and Joseph was referred to us by a local employer, and Joseph, all he needs to do to get full-time employment with them and to be hired and have a career in IT is to earn his Network Plus. So he has been with us for a couple of months, and he's going to test Friday, and prayerfully he will be assigned or hired on by that local IT company before the end of July. Our last case, a gentleman named Jeffrey, he was in a home living with roommates, and it was a subsidized living situation. He was referred to us by his local minister. He said that he helped him with all of the IT stuff at the church. So he started out with us as a student, but now he serves with us as an instructor, and he is pursuing a degree in IT to be a software developer or a coder. In fact, he's one of the leads in our video game development program. So we are in the process of designing a financial literacy. It's going to be one of the most comprehensive financial literacy games that has ever been created, in my opinion. And we're creating that right here at LifeTech. But he is one of the leads for that. And before he is graduated, and he's going to graduate in July, but before his graduation, he's already gotten an apartment, he's got transportation, and he's going to have several job offers. He's got his ITF, his DUTA certification, and he's also pursuing his Network Plus. But he's going to be lined up for a career making in excess of $30,000 to $40,000 a year. So that is our program in a nutshell. I did want to mention just if you are in need of someone that has some type of IT experience, even as an intern, some of our students and apprentices would be a pretty good fit, and that would give them a good opportunity to kind of work in a real world environment. So that is our program in a nutshell, and I guess when the time is appropriate, I'll field any questions that you all may have.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for that overview, Joe. I appreciate that. Joe, I have a question. Do you have much penetration in the Nacogdoches County?
So ironically, Jeffrey lives in Nacogdoches. So yes, we have at least one individual that is in Nacogdoches. One of our employees, or two of our employees, live in Nacogdoches. Our program director for LifeTech lives in Nacogdoches. Our very first apprentice back in 2019, he works for NacSpace now. So that was more of a poaching than a placement, but we can't blame him. He's doing a great job for them. So we've got one employee that is working at an employer in Nacogdoches, and we've got two current employees that are working for us now that live in Nacogdoches.
And my last question is the Legacy Institute a 501c3?
Yes, we are a nonprofit organization.
Okay, just I was curious about that. Other questions from our colleagues on the phone?
Yeah, Joe, I have a question. I'm the United Way guy in Nacogdoches, and for the Nacogdoches area United Way, we have 18 partner agencies, some of them very small. And what comes to mind for me, if you're interested and we can talk offline about it, is having some type of connection with your group to where if a small organization needed IT help, we could call on them. For some type of compensation to come and fix the problem like you would any other computer tech corporation, but keeping in mind that we're nonprofits and can't, some of us can't pay top line to get those things done. That resonate in any way?
Yes, sir. Actually, that's one of the things that we do. We work with local churches. We work with other nonprofits. We help them get their staff trained up in some areas. Sometimes it's an educating. So, for example, all nonprofits get free Google Workspace accounts with unlimited users. A lot of people don't. So we will help you get established at little cost. Some things we do for free, but there are some services that we have to charge for. But obviously as nonprofits, that would be at a discounted rate. Our team, we've got a full web design team, and for when we speak one-on-one, I can give you some examples of some nonprofits we work for. And we've redesigned their websites and made it much more interactive at a deep discount to market price.
All right. So I'm sure that Kelly will put your stuff on the call here, and I'll be in touch with you, and we'll talk more. How's that?
That'd be wonderful. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
Hey,
you,
Joe.
Carrie. Any other questions?
Hey, Joe, can you hear me?
I can hear
Hey,
you,
Wayne.
Mark.
Okay.
Yes,
Hey, and I missed the first part, trying to join, I'm sorry. But, as Joe probably mentioned, this is a partnership with Workforce Solutions, a grant that we got. But one of the other things, especially for our employers, is that this can not only tie into the apprenticeship and the funding that Joe has to help the employers offset some of those training wages, that individual also may be eligible for some of the other workforce services, which then you can get the benefit of that. So for our employers, it's a real asset of if you're able to send your employees to that apprenticeship, then you can get those training hours reimbursed. So definitely want to mention that, to not only just tap into the apprenticeship, the other workforce programs.
that's great, Mark. Great work. It sounds like a great team and cooperation between the two agencies. That's fantastic. Karen, did you want to add anything?
Good morning.
Nothing like putting you on the spot, Karen.
No, I would encourage all the employers on the phone to reach out to Joe and explore the opportunity. They really do have some variety of courses that are available to your current workforce. And, we really are in a point in time right now where technology is changing quickly, and the time to upskill people's current skill level, especially in this area, is so critical. And so this would be a great opportunity for many local businesses to take advantage of. And we also are really excited about the fact that it is this registered apprenticeship model, because it really does allow the individual to be earning a paycheck while they're learning, so that they can continue to sustain themselves while they're continuing to grow professionally and in their career. So we appreciate what Joe and his team are doing very much, and we're very excited. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. And again, Joe, I would encourage everybody to visit your website, the Legacy Institute in Lufkin. It really is impressive, the array of services that you folks are offering. And Joe, any final comments?
Yes. One, I'll give everyone the website. It is www.legacy-institute.org. And when you think of IT, I would encourage you to broaden your horizons. As Karen stated, IT is a very, very broad field. So when people think of IT, they naturally go to computers and hardware and motherboards and keyboard and things like that. But IT also includes website creation. It includes video games. It includes cybersecurity. So if you've got questions on how to make your site a bit more secure, our team has a little bit of experience in doing that. There's also big data. Big data, if you're trying to put together a database, either SQL or Microsoft Access or any one of the other database type softwares, that's also included in IT. There's networking. So if you're looking to, for example, our office is entirely wireless, including our phones. So VoIP phones and things like that, all of that is IT. And now even security cameras and things like that are IT. So when you think of IT, it's pretty broad. So all organizations that exist have some kind of IT need. So we would love to help or partner, either have someone on your team or have our team come out and look and see how we can serve you.
That's great, Joe. And Kelly and Nancy and Karen all posted additional information, and the website number Joe, in the chat section for anybody, so feel free to copy that. I do want to remind you folks that this program, for those that might have colleagues that have missed it today, I would encourage you to visit the Chamber website later this afternoon. We'll have it posted on YouTube for everybody so that so they can go back and capture information. Joe, I want to thank you very much and wish you continued success. I want to thank our friends at Workforce Solutions, Karen and Mark, for the great work they're doing. We had a great meeting yesterday on another issue entirely different, which I think you folks will be hearing more about very soon. But these are exciting times for Nacogdoches and East Texas, thanks to people like the Legacy Institute and Joe and his very talented staff. Thank you, Joe. You're certainly welcome to stay on the call. We'll begin with our reports if we could. I see we're pleased to have Misty with us, Wilburn from SFA. Misty, anything to report on SFA?
Sure, I'll just give a really quick update, Wayne. First off, thank you for letting us join again, as always. So our summer session 2 starts July the 5th. So we'll have some more students coming in. Y'all might have noticed a huge influx of people last weekend. We had one of the largest showcase Saturdays that we've ever had. So tons of people on campus. It was super exciting. We have ongoing orientations throughout the summer, of course, camps and things like that that go on, you know, here on campus. And then fall semester is 9 short weeks away. So it'll be here before you know it. And we also, if you know of anybody looking for jobs, there's quite a few jobs posted on the university's website. I know that UMC currently has a photographer position. So if you know somebody that's good at taking pictures, tell them to send them our way.
That's great, Misty, and thanks for the great work you're doing in recruiting. And Charlotte Ashcraft, you've been doing wonderful work with the Alumni Association. I get almost a daily post on some activity you folks are involved with. You must be pleased. So great. Well, thank you again, folks. I appreciate that. We're pleased to have with us the president and CEO of the Texas Forest Country Partnership, and Mark Duran, the executive director of Workforce Solutions. Why don't you folks take time to kind of give us an update on your respective organizations?
Okay, Mark and I talked right before the call. I'll make my part very quick because he's got Workforce Solutions, great partner, lots of great data. So anyway, real quick, did Joe leave the call?
He's still on.
Hey, Joe. Okay, so while he's on the call, I wanted to give a huge shout out. You've heard Joe's presentation this morning. Joe, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but sometime work with the chamber and get the leadership group together. We've toured, I've been involved in several groups that have toured their facilities and heard from the folks that are actually on the ground every day working with these folks. And I was so impressed of how you serve others and the people that are out, sorry about that, are out and about in our region to do that. So to see it is just a whole new experience. I'm still in awe. Just can't say enough about it, of how they're touching the lives, not only the workforce, but the needs of others. Just like Nacogdoches County is full of give back programs and those supporting others, but it would be worth the visit if some of you could go down and get with Joe and his team and tour those facilities. That would be great. We're involved in some of some programs that Angelina County is working on right now, and hopefully that can be used as a pattern to move throughout the rest of the counties in the region. So just to give an update on the Texas Forest Country Partnership is going through a rebranding, and we're re-strategizing through, I hate to even mention the word COVID, but through that everybody has had to retool and pivot and change, and we're in the process of doing that, so stay tuned. But there are some dates I would like for everyone to make sure is on your calendar. I've mentioned it before. On July the 7th, we've got a free workshop to help prepare our region to develop an inventory of brownfield sites. We've got the EPA, the Railroad Commission, TCEQ coming for a workshop. It will be at Angelina College in their workforce training boardroom. I'll send that link back out. We've publicized it, but I can't say enough. It is a workshop, hands-on experience, grant money that would be assist our counties to redevelop some of these brownfield sites so we can put new businesses and new jobs in place. And then in August, the date has not been set yet, but we'll get that out. We're having a resilience and recovery workshop, perfect timing before the hurricane. It's another free workshop of the Texas Economic Development Council on resiliency and disaster recovery. Our vice chair and myself attended one in Tyler, and it is very, very helpful and very good about helping just all of us come together and be more prepared. In September, planned is a tourism summit. I know Sherry, we're working with Dale on the follow-up from one that SFA had. And then in November, everybody mark your calendar, November the 29th on Tuesday. Place is to be determined because those bids have gotten out. We're having our annual Economic Development Summit. We'll be focusing on workforce, business, and education. So stay tuned for more details with that. And I will pass the baton over to Mark and Karen. And before they get started, I can't thank them enough for what they mean to our region as far as keeping folks employed and assisting others. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you, Nancy. Good morning, Wayne and the group. Just want to give you a quick update on our labor market information. Our latest data is for May of 2022. For the Deep East Texas region, again, that includes our 12 counties. We did have a slight increase from what we were looking at in April. And a lot of that is because more people signed up for jobs. Our labor force numbers increased slightly. But for Deep East Texas, our labor force rate our unemployment rate was 5.0. And compared to April, which is at 4.7. Drilling that down to the county and the city of Nacogdoches, looking at Nacogdoches County for May was 3.9, and compared to April was 3.6. And then the city of Nacogdoches, the rate was 4.5 compared to 4.0. And both of those, that trend was very similar, that the labor force numbers slightly increased, where the employment number pretty much stayed the same. There wasn't a large difference in that. And so that's going to happen and going to kind of fluctuate in those small numbers as we see more and more people start looking for employment. One of the positive things is we partnered with the Nacogdoches Economic Development Corporation last Friday and did a job fair. We had over 30 employers. Around 12:30, 12:40, we had over 60 job seekers that it came in, and there was we had education employers. Stephen F. Austin was there. We had manufacturers. We had the healthcare. So a good group and good representation of the employers of Nacogdoches there at the job fair. And speaking with several of them, they all seemed very satisfied. They had at least 2 or 3 people that were possible candidates. And so excited about that and how we can continue to build those relationships for that. Wayne, one of the things is really excited in our meeting yesterday with Dr. Trujillo is, as our workforce board looks to align education and workforce, is what are we doing with those, those ISDs? And so there is a JET grant, which is the Job and Education for Texans grant, that is through the Texas Workforce Commission that ISDs, higher education, can apply for. And that application was due June the 9th. And this year we had the most applications that we've had in the Deep East Texas region. We had 19 applications from 12 independent school districts. And in the past, that TWC has limited an ISD to only be able to submit 1 application per grant period. But this year they increased that. They could actually do 3 applications. And there was a minimum amount that you could apply for. It was $40,000 to a maximum amount of $750,000. But I'm glad to say is Nacogdoches ISD submitted 2 applications. One was for certified nurses aide. The other one was for emergency medical technicians. And that was over $200,000 they're requesting to increase their CTE programs, which again is looking at the industry that they have there in Nacogdoches and how they can fill those future needs of that workforce. So we're excited about seeing that. But in Deep East Texas, out of those 19 applications, a request of $3.8 million for our education system. So, and it will serve, now this is what we call unduplicated, but it will serve 1,654 students. We probably won't see all of those applications approved, but we're hoping that at least the majority or that will get that. We've also had some school districts that have never applied for the JET grant that applied. Some of those that surrounding Nacogdoches County, or such as Tenaha, up in Houston County, several of those. So we know that in our area that we do a lot of commuting. So those school districts are not only training for their counties, but also for the counties that surround them. So we're excited to see that. The other thing is tying our education to workforce is we just completed our teacher externship program. And the teacher externship is where we partner with teachers in the summer for 1 week, and we send out a interest application to the school districts, and then those CTE teachers return those applications. And so this year we partnered, we had 11 ISDs, we had 28 teachers that partnered with 27 employers. And so that week, which was June the 13th through the 17th, the 13th Monday, we gathered together, we talked about the objectives and the goals of the externship program. And then Tuesday through Thursday, the teacher actually goes to the work site and does job shadowing. And then on Friday, we come back together again, and the employer and the teacher develop a lesson plan, which then the teacher takes back, and by November the 30th of 22 is they teach that in their classroom. And very important they do that because we want them to learn what, the best practices of that employer. And so again, Nacogdoches, we had 2 teachers that participated in the teacher externship from Nacogdoches County. Their industries were manufacturing and then also IT. So it feels right into what Joe had as we, more and more companies have those IT programs. But I want to give a kind of kudos to the 2 employers in Nacogdoches that we were able to match those 2 teachers. Were one was Spirit Outfitters there, and the other one was NacSpace. And we had other industry there in Nacogdoches that was interested, such as Endura Products, but we didn't have the teachers to match them with. Okay, and again, this is a volunteer participation. So next year we continue to hope that it grows. This year we went from 19 teachers up to 28 teachers. So we're already seeing that growth in there. I know with our superintendent there, Dr. Trujillo, very excited about that, but we also want to expand into our other 6 ISDs that we have there in Nacogdoches. But again, very exciting to see how we're partnering education with workforce. And then in our meeting yesterday, Wayne, we talked about bridging that gap between the high school level, middle school level, to the community college and state college. So as Wayne said, we had a great meeting yesterday with several of the key stakeholders and leaders of Nacogdoches, along with Texas Workforce Commission, of how we can expand some other projects in Nacogdoches here in the near future. So Wayne, I'm open to questions.
Thank you, Mark. Any questions of Mark or Karen? What I love about your presentation and Joe's and others is and Nancy's is the proliferation of all of these strategic partnerships. We really are coming together, I think, well as a region and working together, and with organizations like yours. Nancy, did you want to add something that you forgot?
Yes, one thing I would add in, Missy's still on the phone with SFA, but it was officially announced. SFA has hired the executive director for the CARI Center. That's the Rural Innovation and Entrepreneur Center there at SFA. And I guess if I had to describe it, it's kind of like a hub. All of our regional partners will come together and work with CARI on serving our 12 county. And her name is Mary Ann Rojas. She has a very extensive background in workforce and in collaborative efforts and grant money. So I think we'll see a lot of great things coming out of the CARI Center at SFA.
That's great, Nancy. Thank you for adding that. Well, Mark, I want to thank you, Karen, and Nancy, for that presentation. It's great to see this region working so well together. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you,
Pleased to
sir.
welcome my colleague and friend representing the hospitality industry with Visit Nacogdoches, the Executive Director, Sherry Cheney Morgan. Good morning, Sherry.
Good morning, Wayne. Good morning, friends. I wanted to start off with some really great news. Yesterday at 2:27, the world welcomed in Amelia Sage Morgan. Ashley had her baby yesterday afternoon, and she's beautiful and perfect. She's 6.5 pounds. Mother and baby are doing great. Um, so yeah, that was a really neat thing that happened for a really sweet couple where this has been their dream for a long time. So it's good to see dreams come true for people. So congratulations to the little Morgan family. Um, I was thinking about what I wanted to talk during my time on this call, what I wanted to talk about, and we've got some new opportunities coming up, and one opportunity that's been around, and I just wanted to bring it back around for your attention. So we are in the midst of changing website providers, and with our former website provider, they offered advertising through a third-party vendor called DTN. And in the switch, we were able to take that advertising component into our new website, and we'll be handling that. So we're starting off with 4 spaces on our homepage. And we haven't really decided. I think we're going to sell them on a month-to-month basis, just so that we can sort of keep the content fresh on our homepage. But that's going to be a great opportunity for anybody in the community that is interested in taking advantage of that. And I wanted to give you just for the month of June some of our website analytics. So for the month of June, we had 12,000 unique users in 16,000 sessions. And like I said, that's just for the month of June. So it's we get a lot of visits on our webpage, and our new website is so user friendly, and so you're guaranteed to get traveler eyes on your company name in those ads. But we also have taken over special events permitting for the city, and so you'll have some local residents visiting that page as well to apply for permits for special events. And then the other really great thing with our new website is we'll be able to sell tickets, and we're opening up usage of that functionality to the community. So if United Way wanted to do their Christmas parade registration using our ticketing function on the website, we could take care of that for them, cut them a check at the end of it, and that would allow people to pay with credit card. We would have to sort of institute some usage fees, because when people pay with credit cards, there is a fee from the credit card company that we would need to cover. But we're still working out those things, but I think it's going to be a really useful thing for our community for advertising and just for usability. So that's our website. The other thing, not many people know that we do have an app. It's a free app, and it's available in the Apple Store for iOS devices and in the Google Play Store for Android devices, and it's called Visit NAC. And with that, we can do guided self-tours. We can do itineraries. There's just a whole lot that app can use. Most recently, we uploaded all of the Blueberry Festival information on it, and people really liked the convenience of that. So let's see, for the month of June, our app had 701 users with 788 sessions, 6,000 page views, 170 coming from Apple devices and 53 coming from Android devices. And people that have downloaded the app, 248 from Nacogdoches, 124 from Dallas, 113 from Houston, 25 from Austin, 18 from Lufkin, 16 from Chicago, Illinois, and 14 just from Texas, 7 from Mountain View, California, so kind of all over the place. Yeah, so if you can think of a way that you think your business could benefit from placement on our app, just let us know. If you're interested in taking advantage of that advertising opportunity on the web page, get in contact with Joanna Temple here in our office. She's our sales and promotion director, and she can get you hooked up on either one of those. Anything else? I think that concludes my report. It's kind of short today, but.
Great, Sherry. Any questions of Sherry? Well, there's good news and about our new Nacogdoches resident, and we're really excited about that. We're delighted everything went so well from mommy and baby, so that's great news.
Thank you, Wayne.
Gary Lee, anything to add on the United Way? Gary Lee.
Well, yeah, we were fortunate to get a $10,000 grant to completely overhaul the technology in here. And so I'm working from my brand new computer, and it is interesting. We will be up and running, I hope, before the week is out. My office is destroyed, so I'm working out of the sort of meeting room we have in this building. I don't know why I told you all that. Anyway, I want to tell you, we have got the campaign on the horizon. This is all I'm going to talk about. The kickoff to be announced where we'll hold it. It will be in a cool air-conditioned location. Is going to be September the 13th, which is a Tuesday. We've already started ramping things up. July 13th is just, that's going to be our full attention. We have some lofty goals. I have 2 wonderful board members on the call. New board member Kelly Augustine, who we're so excited about you being here. Of course, Sherry, who has been helping me personally with this organization for a long time. And both these women are very valuable part of a very, very good board of directors this year. We're kind of in the grant season. We've never been that way. I mentioned the $10,000 grant. We've been working on the emergency response fund to get it beefed up again. We just received a grant out of nowhere. I was so excited, from Rick Craig and the Sentinel folks, for $3,000, and that will go toward the grant. We've received a $20,000 grant from a local grantor for that fund, which pretty much got us out of the hole from Cushing, and we're on the horizon of receiving another grant from another foundation. We hope for $25,000, and will get us to that midpoint goal of $25,000. And we've got another grantor that hopefully will get us to $50,000, which is where we'd like to be in the emergency fund. Because folks, I tell you, I'm not the weatherman, but I feel a hurricane coming, and so we want to try to be prepared for that and be able to help folks, especially those folks who really can't help themselves, and they're going to need a lot of support. So we're all getting ready for that. The 2 events coming up for the United Way in the fall, Wayne, you and I are going to get in shape, and we're going to do the turkey trot. It'll be fun. It's just 5K. We'll make it fine through that. Charlotte will go with us, and she will be our pace setter. I can tell you that for sure. So get your legs ready. And then the parade is on the horizon. We're already starting planning for that, and that will be on a Saturday, December the 3rd, I believe, and we'll start, you know, when the sun starts to set, a lot of floats will come barreling down the brick streets and celebrating the season of Christmas. I'm sure there's a lot more things important I could tell you, but I think I'll get off the call this way and tell you all to live united, and thank you for your donation.
Well, thank you, Gary Lee, and again, thank you for all the great work you and your staff and board are doing. That's great work for Nacogdoches.
Thank you,
Any
Wayne.
other comments or announcements anybody would care to make while we're on the call? I do want to refer you folks to the chat section. Sherry was kind enough to post Joanna's email address on there for those of you that are interested in advertising, and there's a host of information on there as well. I want to thank all of you folks for joining us, especially I'd like to thank Joseph. Joe, thanks for the great work you're doing with the Legacy Institute, and we look forward to a stronger relationship with you folks in the future. And that was a great presentation today. Also want to thank our friends at Burke who sponsored this phone call. We really appreciate your sponsorship of the program itself. And again, I refer you folks to the Chamber's website for additional information and calendar of events. And I hope you all have a great week. Thank you very much. This concludes the call.